When it comes to a series as popular and long-standing as My Hero Academia, a series with such a rabid fan base, you'd be hard-pressed to find a main cast character who hasn't been sufficiently analyzed by now. Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Shigaraki, Dabi, Twice, Mirio, all of these characters have countless posts and videos going in depth on what makes them special. But there's one character who has been uniquely disregarded, and that is Ochako Uraraka. Ochako's character, despite its depth, has been completely overshadowed by the fandom's main vice, shipping. The core concept of her character, the idea of seeing value in everyone, be it hero, villain, or civilian, is innately connected with love, and that makes her the perfect anchor for the fandom's incessant obsession with relationships. Only 2 characters in the entire series are the subject of the main shipping war within the My Hero Academia fandom, and that is Deku, who is shipped with Bakugo and Uraraka, who is shipped with Deku and Toga. The only difference between them is that Deku is the main character and constantly has more on his plate than anything related to his ships. Ochako, on the other hand, is completely intertwined with both her possible relationships. It's an important part of her character. What for Deku is an innocent high school crush that he never actually speaks about in the case of Ochako, or an unexplored relationship that is never overtly hinted at in the case of Bakugo, is for Uraraka the core of her path to self-discovery in the case of Deku, or main villain and main cause of character growth in Toga. This difference in importance has caused Uraraka's character to be eclipsed by her status in these shipping wars, and left her with minimal content in comparison to her counterparts of equivalent significance. Even I overlooked her in some regard, mostly because she just didn't interest me as much as the other characters, but then this lovely commenter gave me this idea, and so I looked a bit more deeply into her character and found what I believe to be one of the most interesting philosophies in the entire series.
I came across your Instagram account and I found you mad cute, not gonna lie, like, oh my days, and I want to hang out and get to know you.
One thing I love about Horikoshi's writing is how he applies concepts to characters, starting with All Might as the symbol of peace, a character who embodies the very concept of peace, overcoming the danger and instilling peace of mind in the populace. Then, select few important characters can also be placed into this framework. Deku as the symbol of heroism, someone who saves everyone, even the worst villains. Bakugo as the symbol of victory, someone who wins no matter what. All for One as the symbol of evil, Shigaraki as the symbol of destruction, so on and so forth. But where does Uraraka fit into all this? Well, just as Horikoshi took concepts such as peace, victory, and evil and instilled them in these characters, I believe he took the concept of love and instilled it in Uraraka, making her the symbol of love. Maybe compassion would work better actually, but love just sounds better, so I'm gonna stick with that. I know Toga could be the symbol of love too, that's her whole thing, but just don't nitpick, man. It's a better title, who cares? Too complicated. What it means to love someone has changed over time, as humans, society, and technology have evolved, and quite frankly, I cannot put into words what it means to love someone, but there are some philosophers who I believe are pertinent in describing the version of love that I believe Ochako symbolizes. There are 2 quotes that I think most aptly get at what makes up Ochako's character. First, to start at its base, according to philosopher Iris Murdoch, love is the extremely difficult realization that something other than oneself is real. I think of all the quotes on love I've seen, this one is the most applicable to Ochako in her journey as a hero. But it is incomplete without this next view, held by David J. Vellerman. When Uraraka enters the hero course, she claims that her desire as a hero is to simply make money and help her parents. But the deeper rooted cause of that is her desire to see her parents smile. She doesn't like seeing people sad. She finds value in seeing people happy. But this means villains, in her view, bring about the opposite of value. In her eyes, villains bring about suffering. They devoid the world of the smiles Ochako enjoys so much. However, as time goes on and she has more and more interactions with Toga, she realizes that despite her seeing her cry when they talked during Makia's rampage, showed her that. At that point, Ochako had realized that something outside herself was real. Himiko Toga, who existed outside of her framework as a villain who removed value, was actually a human with value of her own. There's a great quote from a video I watched while looking for frameworks of love. The idea that to be loved is to be understood.
And to be understood is to see me, even when you struggle to recognize me.
Uraraka doesn't recognize Toga.
How can I get a girl to notice me?
The best way to get a girl to notice you is to transform into something cool, like a fighter jet. Good luck with that, John.
What?
Throughout the series, the main question Ochako asks of society is who saves the heroes when they need saving. The answer she found? No one. No one saves the heroes when they're in trouble, at least mentally, which is why she ends up taking it upon herself to do so. This mostly just ends up with her saving Deku a few times, first when he's falling after saving her, then when Black Whip goes crazy, and then finally when he returns to UA. But it leaves her in a unique position among the main cast. She sees the harm that can befall the heroes who prioritize saving and victory, and she does her best to be there for them. When society is downtrodden, and the heroes fairly clear during the aftermath of the Paranormal Liberation War that heroes don't really have access to any actual mental health assistance at all, and when things go wrong, they're made to shoulder the entire burden. It's why All Might was even revered by other heroes. He, being a hero above heroes, was able to prevent that burden from ever falling on the shoulders of a great majority of those other heroes, either by taking it upon himself or just fully preventing it from existing in the first place by fixing any problems. Hence why the era of peace instilled by All Might came with heroes who were just seeking fame, status, and an easy life. In this All Might-less society though, there's no one there to take so much of the weight that comes with being a hero. These people are the first line of defense in an extremely dangerous world, and when society realized that, all the weight came crashing down on them. Uraraka watched heroes retire left and right, and because of that one man she saw after the Makia rampage, she knew that not all of them were doing so because the job became too dangerous, but because they could not handle the mental toll it took on them to have all those lives on their consciousness. As that lone hero stood there, watching countless lives fade away in front of him, lives taken by something he was expected to prevent, he felt just how heavy the burden of a hero is. He realized that the ramifications of him doing a bad job is death and destruction, and that was simply too much to bear for a normal person on their own. So when she sees Deku try to shoulder this same burden all on his own, making everyone's safety his responsibility, we get that amazing moment where she explains to the citizens that while yes, their safety is still the #1 priority, the heroes need time to recuperate. They need grace, because if they are forced to work tirelessly without rest to stave off all evil, they will inevitably fall. In a time where heroes are blamed for every bad thing that happens, and at this point in the story every bad thing that might happen, Uraraka opened the hearts of the civilians and saved the heroes who needed saving. And I don't know about you, but I think having the character whose power is to make things weightless take the weight off the shoulders of the heroes is pretty damn cool.
How I look when my wife starts whispering from her urn.
Such a good boy for Mommy.
I miss you so much, Marianne.
I think it's easy to overlook Uraraka in the depth of her character because it always peaks at the same time as much more bombastic characters. I think the perfect encapsulation of this is that double spread with 4 heavy hitters including Endeavor and All for One, and then her in the middle. I mean, she just feels so out of place. I remember people making fun of it on Twitter, but the importance of her character is equal to, if not greater than, both Endeavor and All for One. The only time she really gets much shine to herself is when she makes the speech to the citizens hiding out at UA. But even then, it's coming off of Bakugo's apology to Deku, which was years in the making. She's one of the most unique characters in My Hero Academia, and her development is some of the best despite how understated it is. She shows just how important love is in a world where everyday battle is just the story Horikoshi was trying to tell. She shows the impact love for one person can have on a whole collective. If just one person had loved Toga back, who knows how many deaths could have been prevented. And because one person loved Deku enough to put their heart on display to a bunch of disgruntled citizens who had just experienced probably the worst terrorist attack in known history in this universe, Deku was able to get rest, train, and they were able to win the war. Uraraka showed just how powerful love is. She showed that despite this world being filled with super strength, pyrokinesis, and countless other extraordinary quirks, love is still the most powerful thing of all, baby. Alright, lots of people telling me that they enjoyed the video. I don't know why I'm talking like this now. I've had lots of people enjoy even the damn transitions, which no one has ever cared about before now. But now I got like 3 comments about the transitions, and I'm like, thank you. I thought it was a cool idea, but even back when I first did it in my first ever anime video, and no one has given a fuck. I'm just happy. I'm really happy with how this video did. It's what I think is my best video ever, and I'm just glad that y'all think so too. And finally, I want to say thank you to Alice Ortega 5881 or Alice, however you pronounce your name. I'm sorry, actually, I don't know. I've never seen it written. I've never seen words written that way. I've never seen a name written spelled like that before. I'm sorry, but thank you for the recommendation, and thank you for leaving such a nice comment on my video. Anyways, I do indeed hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me what you think of Uraraka down in the comments below. As I said,